Good morning. Welcome to Coffee Time with Susan. I am waking up in my cargo trailer conversion, Heidi. As you can see, I changed the decor from red, white, and blue summer to shabby chic. I made this the other day, and I had gotten a blue, this color blue, um, comforter at Hobby Lobby on the clearance rack. I didn't know what I was going to use it for. It was actually a twin large. This bed is a double, but I can't tuck it back here where the screen is. It's just awkward. So if I push the comforter all the way to the edge of the top of the mattress, it goes right down to the bottom of the mattress on the edge. So I'll show you a picture of it later, but I do want to make a quilt with these colors at some time, or at least maybe throw pillows or something. But this is what we got for now because I have other people's quilts I need to get working on, so I can't do personal sewing right now. Anyway, I was invited by Debbie Jean of Debbie Jean's Van Life Scene to come stay with her, and there's 6 of us all together. We're at a local to me campground. It's about an hour from my house, and I will put the name here because it's one of those that's really long. It's a lot of names put together. Anyway, I had been here before to check this park out when I first got my Florida State Park pass a couple years ago. And I'm like, that is not a campground I want to stay in because the sites are really small and unlevel, and I will show you video, but they're roped in with like corrals. They're wooden corrals, and no pull throughs. There's one pull through. Site number 17 is a pull through, and I knew I was not going to be able to back in here, and my sweet husband was off for the day, and he offered to come help me, and it's a good thing he did because it was not easy. Our site is so unlevel, you would not believe how jacked up the trailer is, how uneven it is, and it's all sand, and it was raining, and the road getting here is very washboardy, and it was flooded out in some places, and I hear they're working on the campground. I hope they do. There's 2 good things about being here. Number 1 is the friends that I'm hanging with, because I have met a couple of them before, and they're super sweet. And the ones that I hadn't met and I met last night are also super sweet. And I'm just enjoying the time hanging out with other camping ladies. And the other thing is we are 2-minute walk from the spring, the swimming area, and where you launch your kayaks. And we had dinner last night. Debbie Jean made ribs. Tonight I'm doing Italian. But you know, the setup day is the worst. You're just covered in sweat, and it's been so hot here, and there's a lot of flies around because they don't have anyone to clean out the fire pits. Like, people dump their food in it as they left instead of dealing with it. I mean, Riley's picked up bones. He's picked up corn cobs that I've had to fight him for, and there was a lot of flies. So anyway, we took a evening dip to the springs, which was so nice. At first, I didn't think I was going to get in because I know how cold the springs are. It's 72, but it feels so much colder, especially when it's so hot. But I got in up to my neck. I was surprised, and it felt really, 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 really good, really refreshing, and a great way to end the evening. It's another good thing that Kenny came, because one of the ladies who got here while he was still setting up didn't have the 30 amp plug. This campground, instead of having like a 50, 30, and a 15 or whatever the household plug is, they only have 30, and that's it. And I had an adapter. We all had an adapter except for her, and so Kenny drove to a nearby town and got one, and then he got pool noodles for all of us because they changed the rules of the spring, and you can only bring pool noodles, no other flotation devices. So we just had a good time going down to the spring, and I'm having my coffee. Some of the girls are up. I saw them. I fed Riley, but I got to take him for a walk. And then I have to, and if you camp, you know what I mean. There's so much in the trailer right now that I can't function. It's hard. It doesn't look good, and I'm stepping over stuff. So I've got to transfer stuff back to the Palisade. And then I have to figure out how I'm going to, I'm cooking 2 different kinds of pasta. So I have to cook them separate, and garlic bread and salad. And I have to figure out how I'm going to do all that. I have a convection / toaster oven in the trailer, and I have a microwave, but I don't want to run both of those together because of the electrical thing, and I don't want to run them at the same time as the air conditioner. I also have a butane stove, and I brought charcoal. So, anyway, I just have to figure out how I'm going to have dinner all warm at the same time this afternoon. And but I'm going to take little snippets here and there and show you what's going on. So glad you're here. Bye. So I just did the arduous task of putting up my screen room, and it is very hot today, but luckily the Ogery fan is keeping us cool. Right now I have it on 120-degree turn. You can adjust it. You can do 30-degree turn, 60-degree turn, 90-degree turn, or 120. It also has a light, 3 different light settings. Last night when we were all in the tent talking together, I had the light tilted down. Riley, come here.
She won't let me take her picture.
Take a picture. Take a picture right now.
I did.
She's posing.
Maybe gas can would work.
And it did.
So then I changed it to the long ways.
Uh-huh.
That cuts them. AccuQuilt.
Yeah, I have an
something.
AccuQuilt.
Yeah, so this is one of those patterns.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like, it wasn't a scrap quilt, but she got fats from Amazon.
Yeah.
And
Fat
they had
quarters.
all the flowers. Yeah.
Is your potty back here? Oh,
Yeah, it's a
so nice. And a wet bath?
Yeah, it is. I haven't used it yet. Honestly, there's a spray out in the back that I would probably use first.
Yeah. I wouldn't do that.
I like great editing.
I love your pens. See, I like that idea better.
Right. Yeah, for now. I finally got my man. So hot I didn't.
Hello, friends. I'm not having breakfast with you today. I'm not having coffee with you today. And Riley's not here. Yesterday was the first full day here at the campground. And I mentioned to you that the fire pits had junk food and stuff in them. And yesterday I was setting up my screen tent, and I had Riley on a lead. And these little corrals, these spaces are so close together. I'll show you how they look. But while I was setting up the tent, he snuck under the corral to the other campsite, and those people had just dumped their the fire pit, I guess, wasn't cleaned out when they got here, and they just dumped it behind their trailer, which happens to be right next to our campsite, which is part of the reason for the flies. But by the time I found him, he had eaten some nasty looking stuff. I don't even know what that was. And so I took him for his walk, and he seemed to be fine. He did his number 2, and all was well. And I put him in the trailer because it's so hot here this week. And I went next door to sit in the screen room with the some of the ladies, and he was barking, and I thought, well, that's not like Riley, because he doesn't bark that much. He does want to be with me, so I'm sure that's part of the reason he was barking. But anyway, he was barking pretty adamantly, and when I went back and checked on him, he had pooped on my bed. Luckily, and it looked like he was sick, because that's not something he does. And luckily, I had put another blanket on top of my bed, because it's so muddy and sandy here. And I thought, well, if he gets up there, I can just shake that top rug off, or blanket off. So luckily, I had the blanket on there, and then there was a little bit of diarrhea on my little rug, and so I cleaned that all up, and I thought everything was fine, and took him for a long walk after that, so in case he had to go anymore, he could, and he seemed to be fine. And then he and I were taking a nice nap. I was almost asleep yesterday afternoon, and I smelled something, and I thought, man, I thought I cleaned that up, and he had thrown up in the bed. And this was the second blanket that I had put on top of the bed. So now I'm out. Actually, it was the new comforter. It was my new blue comforter. So I took Riley home last night, and I was supposed to cook dinner for us all last night. So I let Debbie Jean know that I wasn't going to be here, and could somebody else take my turn. And I took Riley home, and by the time I got home, it was late afternoon. It was raining, and I knew by the time I had 2 loads of laundry to wash from the bedding and stuff. And I also wanted to keep an eye on him and be sure he was okay, which he's fine now. But anyway, I decided to leave him for the rest of this trip, because it's just so hot, and this campground is not, there's so much trash left around, because they didn't have a camp host. I see someone in the camp host site today, because what I did is I just spent the night. I thought, well, by the time I do laundry and make sure he's okay, it's going to be late. So I just came back first thing this morning. So I did not wake up in the camper this morning, but we've been all kind of checking out each other's rigs, and that's been fun. And then I am cooking Italian tonight, so I've got a little bit of time. I'm probably going to try to take that nap that I didn't get yesterday. And my neighbor, his name is Ron. When I pulled in, I saw that he had a cargo trailer build like mine. It's a shorter one, but he built a top on it. And you know me, I'm all about the DIY stuff. So he and I have been talking, and he talked to Kenny. He talked to Kenny the day Kenny set us up, and he's a super sweet guy, and I think he's adopted us girls. Anyway, I'm doing a tour of his rig tomorrow, and I'll show that separately. But today is just going to be a chill day. Since I was home, I went ahead and washed my hair and took a shower, because, as I mentioned, these bathrooms are not very nice. I'll take some video and show you. I hope they do upgrade this campground, because it has a lot of potential. It's definitely got the location, and it just could be taken care of better. So hopefully they will do that. But like I said, the spring is here, and that's a hot commodity. You can't reinvent that. So that's why it is a good spot if you like to go in the spring. So anyway, that's what's going on. Just wanted to tell you hey for today, and I will show you snippets of what's going on later. Talk to you later. Good morning. Happy coffee. It is day 3 of this camp out, and I did spend the night last night, and we had very, very heavy rains and an electrical storm. The power went out, and I thought, oh Lord, please don't let the power stay out in the whole park, because it's so hot, and I wouldn't have been able to make it without air conditioner in the trailer. I mean, I probably could have, but I would have had to open the windows and the doors and stuff. But anyway, the power came back on. But I think I told you, and I'm going to show you video of how uneven and sandy this site is. And this morning, my trailer's going downhill, and the V-nose has sunk even more into the sand because it was very much in the sand. Check out tomorrow morning, and Kenny's going to come get me out. He's actually arranging his work day where he can take the part of the morning off to come get me out, because there's no way I could get out of here. I told him, I said, bring a shovel, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna have to bring a shovel and boards and all kinds of stuff, because we are dug in, like the V-nose is in the sand. It's like an embankment of sand. So that's going to be fun. I'm so grateful for him, and I'm so grateful that this was close enough to home. Number one, that I could take Riley home when he was sick, and then number two, that Kenny was able to help me get set up and help me leave, and that's a blessing. So anyway, I wanted to show you a quick little preview of the trailer. Now, it doesn't look as good as it did before, because I cooked last night. I fixed dinner for the girls, and I fixed a red pasta with meat sauce, ziti, and I fixed fettuccine alfredo, garlic bread, and a Caesar salad, and grilled chicken. I was going to mix the chicken with the just add more chicken to the alfredo, but one of the gals is doing low carb, and I did low carb for 4 years, and I'm like, well, let me just keep the chicken separate, so that way she could at least have the salad and the chicken. But and doing dishes in a campground, because normally I do a spray. I do half alcohol, half water, and I just spray my dishes and wipe them out, and I'm good to go. And I use the Instant Pot for the red pasta, and of course you can't just spray that out. So I had to do a little. I had a pop-up bucket, and so I had to go get water and soap and all that, and I didn't want to do it in the trailer. I actually did spill a little bit of tomato sauce on my white skirt that's above my kitchen, but my plan is to make my kitchen cabinets very soon. I have a lot of quilt work to do when I get home tomorrow, and what I'm doing is I'm not taking a whole week off of work. Well, 4 days off of work. Kenny's on call this weekend, and I knew he was on call this weekend, so I will work through the weekend and make that my weekday, and then the time I've been here will count as my weekend. So you just have to stay disciplined when you work for yourself, because you're on your own timeline. But the benefit of working for yourself is you can rearrange your schedule, and I appreciate that. And I thank you to you, those of you who have reached out and have given me quilt work to do. Oh, by the way, I didn't tell you, I did decide not to buy that camper. I talked to them first thing Monday morning and let the people know that I'm not going to buy the camper. I'm going to save every penny I make from YouTube and from quilting, and I'm going to buy a van. And I'm going to buy a van that will tow the trailer. I love the trailer. Kenny said he's happy in the trailer. It's not like he camps in it all the time. If we go out, it's usually a week or 4 days, or, we did do 2 weeks last year when we went to Michigan, but he was perfectly happy. And I appreciate you guys who made the comments, and somebody made a really wise, well, a lot of people made wise comments, but one of them was, would Kenny even camp with me enough to make the trade for a new camper that he could stand up in to make it worth it? And no. So, and a lot of you said, listen to your husband and take him at his word, and you're right. So, I'm going to keep this trailer. I've invested my heart and my soul and blood and tears and everything else in this trailer, and I'm going to keep it longer. I'm just going to upgrade it. I am going to make it the 2.0 version, and I'm taking baby steps to get there, and that's what I'm going to do. And I love Joy. I love my minivan camper. And she's running really well now. She just has that one little light that comes on, and we're still working on that, because we're not going to sell that to anybody until it's in top-notch condition. And I really hope, I I can sell it as a camper because, you know, I built it out. I built the floor and the bed, and I cut the seat belts out of the back. I don't regret cutting the seat belts out of the back because I've used it for a year and a half, and it's just been perfect. It's been a perfect little camper van. But if somebody wants it, that doesn't want it for a camper van, then they're going to have to put the seatbelts back in. But anyway, I did make that decision, and I just wanted to share that with you. And you know, there's points to having a trailer, and there's points to having a van. And at least if I keep this trailer, I've already paid for it. She's paid for it, and I'm not going into debt to keep her. So, and I really don't want to go into debt for a van either. I realize that finding a van that I can stand up in and that is mechanically sound is not going to be quick, and it's not going to be cheap. So I am just going to keep socking away my money. I'll sell Joy, my minivan, since she can't tow the camper, and I'm pulling with the Palisade anyway, and I will just be ready. I know that God will provide the right van, and I just need to be ready for it when that van shows up. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn you around now and show you the other side of the camper, what it looks like in here. And I had to turn off the AC because it's really loud. And I have the Ogery Fan that I was sent to do a review on, and I will be posting a separate video of the review. I am really thrilled with this fan. It oscillates. We've used it in the tents, and it moves around, hits all the girls. It moves around, hits me and Riley. And then today I thought, well, I've got to turn off the AC to do this video because I can't talk over the AC even with the mic on. And that little fan is a go-getter. And this is day 3 since I've charged it. I've only charged it once since I got it, and it's still running, and it shows it has quite a bit of battery left. So that's good. And it will definitely, anytime I go car camping, that fan will be with me. And these little clip-on fans that shut off in the middle of the night, I'm not even going to bring them anymore because this fan oscillates, and so it can hit me and Riley at the same time. So, and take up less space and keep charged. So I will turn you around now. Okay, so there's the AC in the kitchen, and my coffee pot is down because I made my coffee. And there's that Ogery Fan, and you can't even hear it. It's amazing. I did straighten up a little bit yesterday. When I took Riley home, I washed the blue comforter that I've changed to now. There's my TV. There's my shabby chic bunting, they call that. I really like that. I really like those colors. They're very soothing. This is the bathhouse, and the bathhouse is for day use people and campers, and honestly it's kind of a mess. And then there's a few covered areas, recreational areas. Hi, Debbie Jean. Hey. And that is the day use parking lot, and then the day use picnic area is very nice. I like that. That's what that is over there. Like I said, there's a lot of improvement they could do to make this place really nice. But Debbie Jean and I are out for a walk. We're going to explore, and then we're going to hit the spring again. There's not too many people here swimming today, but we are supposed to get more rain. But it's such a nice, cool way to cool. It's not manned. They have this self check-in area. That's where my packet was when I got here. And it actually says open. I've never seen open. I don't know what they have. And the rain is starting, and that means it's nap time. So this is my friend Regina, and she helped me in the very beginning of me starting my channel. She let me post links on her travel page, and she has a channel too, but she hasn't been working on it, but you're gonna.
Right.
So share us the name of your,
Gina's Joyful Journey.
that's her YouTube channel, and your channel.
It's traveling.
I mean your page.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Traveling Sisterhood Van Life.
Yes, and that is the group she let me share my videos on, and if she hadn't reached out and supported me, I probably wouldn't have kept going. So go find her page and follow her channel.
And remember, there's not a lot on it right now. I'm just restarting.
Yes. All right. This is my friend Debbie Jean, and you probably already know her channel, but it is
Debbie Jean's Van Life Scenes.
so if you don't already subscribe to her channel, subscribe, and we'll see you down the road.
Thank you, girlfriend.
Well, good morning. It's checkout day. There was a lot of rain last night. I didn't sleep last night. Kenny's on his way to get me, and I'm gonna show you around the site and show you how much the trailer sunk in the ground.